Well, I think I was born as an artist since a very early age. And my first time I ended up doing some painting or drawing, it was when in the city I used to live, which is Barcelona, they had this sort of avenue, which goes, it used to go from left to right. And the thing is, it used to be this famous Vespas, motorbikes, they call it. I used to see two people in it. And actually, I was doing that. And I think I was pretty young when I was doing that. So I started then. And after that, one time, my mother took me to a bullfighting. And for some reason, I ended up throwing the eyes of the bull and his face in the wall of the house. So you're not meant to do that, but I did that. And every time I used to look at that face, they used to see that animal staring at you. So that was where I started. And from that, actually grew up to the academy and also to the physics. But I started by meeting a lot of artists from all sorts of backgrounds, very famous ones, some of them. And then visiting galleries, lots of galleries, lots of concerts, music. It's always all art all around me. And Barcelona is the place which is a lot of art to go in. So I started there, and then I joined the Academy of Fine Art. I was quite young, and I was not allowed to enter live models because they were naked. And you were not supposed to be entering a naked drawing. You were fine. And not meant to draw somebody which was naked at my age. So that was a bit of a downside. Well, what can you do? It's just life. I'm from that just ended up doing, follow up the career and just carry on doing exhibitions, have my own studio, teach people art, drawings, and all these kind of things. And then as the part of the beginning of my life. Well, it's interesting that question because I started doing a lot of let's call figurative people. And actually from people I moved to still life, murals. I did some murals, and now they call us graffiti artists, but not quite, because I was using the old technique of the fresco painting, which is with plaster and color and that. And then I just carry on for a number of years. I stopped doing that because I really found it a bit confined. I just couldn't liberate myself from the academic life, which is quite restricted. So I ended up finding my foot with paintings, which is a painting with oils. I love that. Inspiration. Well, it's a kind of bringing life to constant electronic devices, which we keep missing out the real world, which is around us. And on that particular photograph, which is a painting, brings the colors and the leaves and the reality of what's is around us, and we keep ignoring that. So that is the way I trying to pass the message into people. I love oils because, let's say, you don't meant to mix brown and white because it gets all flowery sort of looking things. So if you use a palette knife, you could get away with that. And they don't get mixed somehow. It gets the texture, but it doesn't get mixed, which is very important, I suppose. And then there's the speed I could work with it. I could really go very fast, cover the canvas completely, and then just create the textures. But before that, I always do and draw. I draw a picture, and then I start painting. Sometimes I lose the lines, fair enough. When I do, I just keep going, I suppose. And yeah, it's quite good fun. Get very tired in the end. Well, perhaps it's a sense of tranquility. Well, I have to say, not always succeed on that, because once I did something and I regret it, it was a portrait of a god of Argos. It was just called Argos, which it can see you in all directions, up, down, or left and right. And for some reason, I put it in the exhibition, and somebody ended up feeling really being watched. He came out of the gallery in panic. So that was one of my biggest experiences I had with customers. But apart from that, yeah, it's all good and peaceful and trying to send a good message. The funny thing about it is a lot going on in the world, and yet I cannot paint bad things. It just doesn't come out. It seems to come out jolly colors, happy, all these kind of things, which is unbelievable. But that is the way it seems to be my art. So if I bring a bit of peace in this world, I'm more than happy. So I don't do it on purpose. It comes out. Okay. As I say, I do work in the open air. So I just picked up my canvas. I get the easel with me, brushes, everything. And I cut it to the trolley because it's quite heavy. Then I just park myself in the street somewhere or in the bushes, which I'm not going to do that again because I did do it once. And then I found out was a snake in there and I ran them out. And now if I don't see the ground where I'm standing, I would not go. Yeah. And well, I started like that. And then I draw what I seen in front of me. And then it's never as it looks somehow. It's always something different, which I try to work with the light, but the light changes very fast. So I have to go quite fast when I do a project of some sort. And that is not difficult, but I have to speed up quite a lot. And by speeding, it means once I do something, I get absolutely exhausted. And leave the canvas which I've been working on, and I just left it somewhere on the side in the corner of the studio, and I never look at it again until it dries out. And then I just put it to the side, I varnish it, and that's the way I do it. Of course, if I do a mural or something, a project or something bigger, that is a bit more complex. You have to scale it down. That you have to add the colors, the composition is quite complicated. But in the end of the day, it's the same results. Sometimes I just go around and think because my brain gets blank and I see a blank canvas, so it doesn't really help. So I have to think what is the best thing to do. And sometimes I use music, and doesn't really matter if it's classical or modern. I like anything. And I will go in and see some exhibitions, and that encourages me to do some work. One work. Create something. Well, create, it's difficult to say create because everything has been created, which is an interpretation of creation. So that's the way I will explain it somehow to the art. Reply to this way. Because the artists, we trying to be visual, and we just add something on a piece of paper or something, and that's the way we translate the message. So it's quite difficult to alter this. I don't think I could apply to this point. We live in a very complicated world at the moment. So I think would be if they get a bit of joy out of it, and reflection and relaxation, that will be an achievement. That is what I think would be a good thing for the audience. Just transmit a bit of different sort of ambience of the real world out there, which is chaotic, say the least. So perhaps it's an oasis in the middle of the storm, I would say. It's an impressionism of reality. It's just part of the traits as they go along, which is great. And in my view, is something which comes out naturally. So if gets into the line of impressionism, so be it. But every step of every brush stroke is a new sort of perspective, I would say, of the artwork. In a way, you could walk through it towards the point which gets part of the trains of a moment, I suppose. I don't know, something like that. So it's quite difficult to explain how you would fit within the modern art. I consider myself modern at the moment with what I do. Well, the immediate one, it will be a trip to Paris tomorrow, which is go, go, go. And in the Carousel de Louvre, I was invited to do put a picture up. So I'm doing that. Then 2 weeks later, I have another one in Rome, which I was also invited, and I just went for it. And it's so many different exhibitions all around the world, and one has to get a bit of time for yourself to be able to concentrate on what you like to do. And it's not that simple because there's so many invitations here and there and over there. But yeah, it would be great to just do more things. And I mean, the world is an oyster. I mean, I could just keep going because there's so much going on. So yeah, and just bring it in, just keep going. So I would be having a bit of time off to relax sometime. I don't know when. But somebody said to me, when you do with work is when you are stressed out. I don't know if it's true, but that was a patron of mine that just left my work, and I used to say, no, you do better when you're in a stress situation. I said, fine, okay. So my stress levels are gonna go very high, I think, in the next few weeks and months, and who knows where I'm gonna go from that. And another one in Spain, I have another exhibition in Spain. Just remember it were all up, because sometimes tend to wonder where you put pictures. So, yeah. Well, just carry on experimenting different places. I would like to send my work around the world from north to south and south to west and, all around. And I find that the technology, it really helps a lot. It's not like the old days you had to go from A to B, and it was quite hard work, and like if you get the other days you're doing something for you or the papers and all that. Now it's all just a click of a button, which is absolutely wonderful. So it's like a ride for me. Just go for it. Have fun and the process, which is good. It's taking me out to the studio and meet new people, wonderful people like this one I've just done here. Really enjoy very much and keep going as long as I live, because I don't think artists could ever retire. So that's one of my sentence. So I had to keep going. Yeah. Hey, Andrew. No, not the problem there.